Hey guys, what's good? It's your boy Tacho here, and we're back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay, so we got the refines, we got the stats, we got a whole bunch of other things in between. Data mine time, so let's just go ahead and hop right in. We're going to be covering the refines first, because that's the stuff that I'm most excited for. Alright, so let's take a look at Elise's refine. Of course, Elise is a very exciting unit to get one, because she's the first of the Gen 1 staff units, and I guess just staff unit in general, to actually get a refine. So this puts refines for staff units on the table now, so all of those like really old staff units that people were building finally have a chance at getting a refine, which is nice. Okay, so Elise's staff has 14 might and 2 range, gives her a flat speed up 3, which is good. Calculates damage from staff like other weapons, so built-in Wrathful Staff, that's also good. After combat, if unit attacked, inflicts gravity on target and foes within 1 space of target. Okay, again, very good. I mean, gravity is like one of the most underrated staff effects in the game, I feel like. People really undersell how good gravity is, so it's nice that she gets that inherently on her weapon effect. And also, if unit or ally initiates combat against a foe within 2 spaces of unit, inflicts all stats -4 on that foe during combat. Wow. Okay. Now we're talking. That is a very good debuff effect. Similar to Tharja's Hex and the Rain skills, if a foe is in 2 spaces of Elise, she's just inflicting -4 to all stats on them, which is going to be able to help her out when she's fighting, or one of her allies, assuming that she's close by. So just a very powerful debuff effect in general, and going to be very nice for Elise. She was actually one of the few staff units that had a good attack and speed combo right from the get-go. I believe she has base 32 in attack and speed. So combine that with the speed up 3 she's already getting, possibly a boon to attacker's speed, and then -4 to all stats on the foe. Elise is going to be a powerhouse from now on, so that's actually really cool and really exciting stuff. Alright, let's move on to the next unit. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at Fa next, and Fa got Eternal Breath. So 16 might and 3 HP. At the start of unit, if an ally is within 2 spaces of unit, grants all stats +5 to unit and allies within 2 spaces for 1 turn. And it also has adaptive damage. Alright, step aside Astrum, man. Like, they literally just made her a better Astrum with this effect. Whereas Astrum has to fulfill the tactic skill requirement, Fa doesn't even care, and plus she's giving an extra stat as well as a bonus. So +5 to everything to allies in 2 spaces as well as herself. Very solid effect. And also, if a bonus is active on unit, inflicts attack and res -4 on the foe, and grants special cooldown charge +1 per foe's attack during combat. Alright, that is rad. So she gets a built-in breath effect, and then she's also inflicting attack and res -4 if she's got a bonus, which she's obviously going to have because her weapon's already doing that. So a very solid refine. Finally, we've got some respect for these dragon units, which is awesome. Hopefully when Naui gets her refine, she ends up getting something really awesome like this too. I know a lot of people built the dragon units from early on because they were one of the better units after we started getting weapon refines and Lightning Breath could have stats on top of it. So it's about time that people dust off their dragons and get some use out of them. Alright, next up, let's go ahead and take a look at Micaiah. Okay, so effective against armor and cavalry, grants res up 3. If the foe uses a bow, dagger, magic, or staff, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. Okay, I feel like they changed this from before where, if I'm not mistaken, the foe had to be a ranged armor or a ranged cavalry type unit for her to get the damage reduction. But they completely took that part out of this, and you just have to be fighting a ranged opponent, which is obviously going to be a whole lot better. And also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to half, grants attack and res up 5 during combat, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. Oh boy, okay, that's great. So the way that I was playing Micaiah before this, I was running the Brash Assault Sacred Seal on her and Desperation, and because she's got Sacrifice, it's very easy to cheat herself into low HP and be able to go for the Desperation and Brash Assault thing. But now she's got Brash Assault built into her weapon. So if you can find a way to get her HP below 75% but still above 50%, you're going to be able to attack the foes twice in a row with Desperation and pretty much just body whoever you're attacking, especially if they're an armored type unit. So this is really awesome. And it's not going to be too hard to get her HP into the sweet spot since she of course comes with Sacrifice. But I can see it being a little bit tricky in some situations because trying to get between 75% and 50% might be tricky sometimes. I guess it's going to depend on what's going on. But definitely a very solid refine for Micaiah. Her weapon was already pretty good, to be honest, so she didn't really need a refine, but I guess it is nice to give her a bit of a bonus. And the final refined unit is Valter with the Cursed Lance. So 16 might and 3 HP. Accelerates special trigger and grants all stats +3. And after combat deals 6 damage to unit. Alright, so they more or less just upgraded his weapon effect into a full version of Fury 3. Before he only got attack and speed up 2, and he was taking 4 chip damage. So they basically just gave him Fury 3 here. And if unit's HP is not full at the start of combat, or if a penalty is active on the foe, grants attack, speed, and defense +5 to unit during combat, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on the foe per attack. Okay, pretty solid effect. He's getting guard, and then he's getting attack, speed, and defense up 5. All he has to do is have not full HP or have a penalty on the foe, which is going to be pretty easy to do. I mean, his weapon's already giving him chip damage anyway, so it's unlikely that he'll be at full health. The only downside to this is that you're not really going to be able to make good use of Dive Bomb on him, and I think that was one of the things that he probably could have made good use of. He already has the -1 cooldown count on his weapon, so if you wanted to run him as a Gale Force unit and then give him like Heavy Blade as the seal, it would have been very easy for this guy to just ramp right into Gale Force, assuming he had Dive Bomb on him. But because he has the chip damage on his weapon, it's not really going to play all that nicely with Dive Bomb. So unfortunate, but not really the biggest deal. It's still a very good refine for a unit that definitely needed it. So just another free-to-play option if you want to build a Lance Flyer. Alright, so with the refines out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the units now. So these are the ninja units, and we're going to take a look at their stats. Let me just quickly pull up the calculators so we can do a BST check while we're at it. Alright, we're going to start things off with Valter. So 41 health, 42 attack. He's got 18 speed, 37 defense, and 34 res for a total of 172. Pretty good BST for a flying melee type unit. And of course, 42 attack is just outrageously high for a unit like this. Her weapon has the Brave effect and half of the Blade Tome effect. So she's going to be dealing a ton of damage. Also, her defenses are very powerful. 37, 34, like that's nothing to laugh at. She's going to be tanking hits pretty well. And for speed being a dump stat, like, I mean, who really cares about speed on a unit like this? She can do the Brave attack on either phase, so it doesn't matter. And as far as Super Boons and Banes go, we have for Valter an attack and a defense Super Boon, and an HP and a speed Super Bane. I would definitely recommend going for plus attack on Valter, because of course she just wants to hit the foes as hard as possible. Alright, so next up we've got Navarre. So 41 HP, 39 attack, 42 speed, 31 defense, and 23 res for a total of 176. Pretty good for an infantry type unit. And Navarre also has a Super Boon in attack and speed, with a Super Bane in HP. You'll probably want to go plus speed on this guy, or I guess maybe even plus attack, it doesn't really matter. He doesn't have a perf weapon, so you're free to customize him with any of the inheritable options. So Spirited Spear or Flowing Lance, any of those would be good. As well as, of course, Ninja Yari if you want him to go for the Brave attacks. So not too shabby. It does suck that he's the 5-star locked unit though. I would have much preferred if this guy was the 4-star demote. Even though I love Zehark so much, just having another option for Lance Infantry I think would have been good. Because like Zehark, he's another sword unit, and there's been so many free-to-play options for swords. Like, I just feel like the variety would have been a little bit more necessary here. Okay, so on the topic of Z-Hark, let's actually go ahead and move on to him next. Alright, so Z-Hark's got 43 HP, 37 attack, 42 speed, 30 defense, and 24 res, for a total of 176, and Z-Hark has a super boon in speed and res, with a bane in defense. So again, just like Navarre, he can reach 180 BST, which is good if you want to use him for scoring. And if Z-Hark is one of your favorite characters and you've been hoarding orbs and you want to go for a plus 10, he doesn't seem like a bad option. His speed is relatively high and he's got pretty solid defenses. So you'll be able to customize him however you want and give him stuff like Close Call or Repel. Or just stick to the player phase thing with him and go for Ninja Katana. There's going to be a whole bunch of ways to build this guy, so I think it's pretty much going to be up to your own discretion on how you want to do it. But he does look like a very strong unit and a very good 4-star demote. And next up, let's go ahead and talk about Lyn. So Lyn is a duo hero, so she's getting a BST increase from her duo skill. And we're going to talk about that in just a sec, because they did something a little unexpected there. But as far as her BST, she's got 40 health, she's got 38 attack, 42 speed, 21 defense, and 26 res, for a total of 167. I guess that's not too bad for a flying ranged unit. And she also has super boons in attack and res, with banes in HP and speed. I'm surprised they didn't give her a speed super boon, but I guess it doesn't really matter. She already has the brave attack effect on her weapon, and having the super boon in attack is going to allow her to hit very hard. So I think that's good. But here's where I'm a little bit salty, because they made Lyn's BST bonus from her duo skill go up to 190 BST, which is currently the highest in the game. All the other duo skills and legendary dual skills have only gone up to 185. So Lyn is basically like the highest scoring unit in the game now, which I have a whole bunch of issues with. This is basically like the end of my arena career, where I'm not going to be able to consistently get the crowns anymore. I'm already struggling because last season I wasn't able to keep the crown, and there was also a season before that as well. So your boy has been slipping a bit in terms of maintaining tier 21, but now with like 190 BST skills being introduced, it's like completely a lost cause, I feel like. So I'm not even going to bother anymore. Whatever I score, and if I can't manage to get into tier 21, I guess that's just tough luck. So a little unfortunate about the score creep that keeps on getting higher and higher, but there's really not much we can do about that. And last but not least, we have Hana, who is our Tempest Trial prize unit. So 42 health, 36 attack, 40 speed, 28 defense, and 30 res, for a total of 176. And get this, Hana actually has a super boon in speed and defense, with a bane in res. So you'd be free to give her plus speed and bump her up to the 180 BST scoring bin. And she's basically just going to be a better version of Echidna at that point. She's got more speed, she's got more power, she's got better defenses. Like, Hana is a very good merge project for free to play. So it's definitely awesome that they decided to throw us a bone and give us such a good free unit. The only bad thing I will say is that axes are already very common. Like I just mentioned, with Echidna and Ross and Mustafa being very good merge projects, and also not costing any heroic grails. But if you'd rather go for the more premium option, then Hana is definitely going to be better than all three of them, I think. So that is a plus, but at the rate that we're getting these heroic grails, it's going to be a long shot before we're going to be able to get the plus 10 on Hana and like all these other units that we've been trying to build. Like, there's so many free units right now that I want to build, like Ashnard and Petrine and all of those guys. And I feel like I'm just never going to get the chance, because they just keep on releasing better and better free units into the Grail shop. And I barely even have enough Grails to get 1 plus 10. So it definitely sucks. But I guess it's just a long-term goal for people that really want to focus on which units they want to build. And the final thing that I want to talk about today is going to be our prize Sacred Seals from this round of Tempest Trial. And we're going to be getting Kestrel Stance and Hone Beasts. I'm not sure why they would give us Hone Beast. Like, out of all the possible movement type Hone skills, they could have given us anything besides Beast. I feel like Beasts are probably like the last type of team you would want to build. Unless you're running like all flyers with like Tibarn and Nasala and Racing and stuff. But it's just going to be really awkward to use Hone Beasts. Especially when on that very same team I brought up, you may as well just run Hone Flyers instead, and it's going to do the exact same thing. Except you're also able to support other flying units too. So I don't see a point in Hone Beasts even existing. But I guess here it is as a Sacred Seal now for the people that want it. And Kestrel Stance, not actually that bad of a seal. You're going to get attack and speed up 4 if the foe initiates. So could definitely be good on units that have Spurn or Close Call or something like that. Just get a little extra speed and power when you counterattack. So not too shabby. But that pretty much wraps up the coverage for this Datamine. Let me know your thoughts on all this stuff in the comments section down below. And let me know which refine is actually your favorite out of all the ones we saw. I'm leaning mainly towards Elise, because I feel like she really got some nice love there. But Fa is definitely not too far behind. So I'm leaning towards one of those two right now. But of course, all the refines in this batch were very solid. And we got a very awesome free-to-play unit as well in Hana. So very happy with the Datamine overall. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, everybody. Thanks so much for watching the video. And I will catch you guys again on the flip side.